morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Me and my friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I?
Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Me and my friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. Don't call or text me, it's about to begin. I've been patient, time for me to chime in. Comfy clothes on, feeling just fine. I'm busy right now, it's crafting show time. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. The host came on, they are truly a gem. Here for the show and to chat with my friends. Chat with each other about this and that. We share ideas, wisdom, and other fun facts. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips, and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you'll never...
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Time to get our craft on. Time to have fun. Time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. This is a channel where we do all kinds of crafting events, from sewing, knitting, crocheting, quilting, and so much more. So we host this show daily, and my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ. If you're here for the first time, go ahead and drop your name into the chat because we'd love to say hello to you. We have a fantastic group out there, and we will help you out with all kinds of tips and tricks, and we just like to kind of get the community together and have a great time. So if that's something that you're into, you're definitely in the right place. And like I said, we've got people from all over the place. So let's see who we have out there. I got Robin from Maryland. Good morning, Robin's Quilt Basket. Hey, Rebecca Copeland, she's my neighbor, and I'm from Miami, Florida. Good morning to you. All right, scrapping like a lady's in the house. Awesome. Good morning. We've got Lady Blue Bear Designs by Stacy from Louisiana. Good morning to you. And there's my friends from Canada. Good morning. How are you? We've got Susan Leonard. Good morning. Oh, you've got your Addie and she's making beanies. Awesome. Well, keep at it. Yes. Awesome. That's great. We've got Linda from Missouri. Good morning to you. Susan from Missouri as well. Wow. A lot of people from Missouri. And yes, happy Monday to you, Sandy. Good morning to you. Let's see. Oh, Cindy Ball is here. Good morning. Marie Johnson. Good morning to you. And, you know, we're going to have a great time today. I've got my new to me sewing machine here all set up and we think we've got it all ready to go. Did a couple of things to make it a little bit more comfortable for me to sew on. Added a couple of things and we'll kind of go over that real quick. But we are ready to go. So Miss Molly is here with me and that is her name. If you missed the event on Friday, we gave her name. So we've got a nice little Miss Molly that we're going to be sewing with here, and we're going to be starting a new project. So it's going to be lots of fun. Awesome. Good morning, Kathy. How are you? You're on a girlfriend's sewing weekend. Awesome. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. Wish I could be there too. So we've got Renee from Long Island. Good morning to you. And the crafty Puerto Rican. Good morning. Are you still in Puerto Rico? And Lisa Lily, good morning. Yeah, gremlins are the worst. So we had a little bit of a technical issues this morning. Looks like the gremlins were starting to act up again. And we, yeah, so Mr. H had to kind of shut down and reboot. So it looks like now we're back up. I don't know, are we missing anything? We're not 100% back up the way we would normally be, but for the most part we are. I think we're good. So, no Facebook. Oh, no Facebook today. That's okay. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning. Yay. Yeah, he got us back up and running. So it's been a weekend, I can tell you. It's, I've been working a lot. It's really busy at work. So we had a kind of working weekend. So it was a kind of work. Was hoping to get some time off to do some other things, but that didn't happen. But it was my mom's birthday. So that was lots of fun. And she went with me to the Sewing and Quilting Expo, and she was driving back with my sister. And they were driving back. And she stopped in Orlando where her brother is, and they had a great time because they were able to celebrate her birthday there. So got a little cake, they sang happy birthday. It was a lot of fun. So I was happy that, you know, she got to do something really fun for her birthday. But now she's back in Miami and, you know, she's just busy now. No time for me. And that's okay. So yeah, happy birthday, Mom. It was nice. It was nice for her to, you know, see her brother, see some of my cousins in Orlando. So that's always a good thing. So while she was doing that, I was working, and then now here we are Monday again. So yeah, but it's going to be a great week. And, you know, we got to do what we do all the time. So let's go ahead and have our little toast, shall we? So if you're here and tuning in for the first time, we always do our little toast in the morning. So grab yourself a cup of whatever it is that you like in the morning, coffee, tea, soda, water. There's no judgment here. And if you don't have a cup, no worries. I will pour you one. So let's go ahead and raise those glasses, and I'll go ahead and pour you a nice little cup. I am going to have my little ice water today because I definitely need it to wake me up today. Yes, cheers, Barbara, to our gifted crafter community. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and cheers. Awesome. Oh, great little swivel in the morning. Awesome. Yay. Yes, good morning, everyone. Cheers, cheers. Yay. Alrighty, so we've got our little drink. Now let's go grab our snacks, because some people are, I think, a little bit hungry this morning. We actually went out to eat over the weekend, and after all that working, my mother-in-law was able to join in. So we were able to have dinner with her, which was really nice to kind of catch up on. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a snack. I think I hear the food truck rolling down the road over here. There it is. Yeah, we've got our virtual food truck. No worries, everything is on that food truck. We've got everything from coffee, tea, soda, water. We also have bagels and pancakes. And oh yes, we've got pumpkins, because we're in Halloween, right? So why not? So our pumpkins are here, and they didn't take our snack, guys. We're good. We still got all the snacks on the truck, so you can have anything that you want. There's no calories, there's no pricing on here. Everything is free, and you can just envision anything that you can eat. Alrighty, so now you got your coffee, you got your snacks, and I hope you're in your little cozy spot there. Yay! I think everyone's grabbing their snacks. Guava pastry and café con leche for Rebecca. Awesome. A 5-cup salad for Cindy. Yum. Alrighty, so now that we've got our snacks and our drinks and you're in your cozy spot, or at least in a safe place to watch, I think we're ready to get started. So what are we going to be doing today? Today, we're going to be starting a brand new project, and this is a free pattern that you can download. It's called Moda Love Charm Quilt, and we have the link in the description so that you know that you can go ahead and click on that link and get yourself this pattern, because it's a free pattern from Moda, and we love free patterns, right? So go ahead and download that. You'll get the same printout that I have here with all of the instructions, and it really also has a second page to it, which is really nice. They call this their coloring sheet. So it's basically the outline of the actual pattern, and it allows you to go ahead and you can take a little coloring pencils or something that you'd want to kind of figure out how you want to lay out your pattern. So if you're deciding what your half square triangle colors are going to be, and what your background is going to be, it allows you to kind of lay it out and color it in so you could see what it'll look like. And then afterwards, you know, you'll have a decision that you can make for your actual fabrics. So it's really pretty cool that they kind of provide that, because that really helps out if you're really trying indecisive as to what colors you're going to use. You know, this is a really nice way to do that, is just to kind of have that outline and then just color that in. So, you know, if you're wanting to do, like, let's say Christmas, and you don't know whether to do the red or the green or the white as the background, or, you know, maybe you have some patterns that, you know, are really bright and you're not sure. So you can kind of color them in, or you can even scan this and try to do this on the computer with some colors. So that really helps out for you to be able to, you know, help you decide in terms of the fabrics, which one to use and things like that. So I thought that was pretty neat. And again, this is a free pattern that you can get. Now, the requirements to do this little quilted, I would say a wall hanging, because it's really 32 inches by 32 inches, which is a nice size, and that's a nice wall hanging size, I think. So for you to do this, you're going to need 1 Moda charm pack. You're also going to need 3/8 of a yard for your binding, and then 1 yard for your backing. So not too bad. If you have a charm pack that you want to use, you can kind of grab that from your stash and then go ahead and do this pattern with me. It's a pretty simple technique. It's half square triangles. Sorry, so this is a little bit, it is a little beginner friendly, which is nice. So a little bit easy to do. So half square triangles, it does tell you the instructions on how to do that. You also have specialty rulers out there that'll help you with that as well. And I'm going to show you one of the ones that they have, and we're going to try this one out. And I hadn't used this one too much, so I'm excited to kind of use this one again. So we're going to do that and put all those together and do our little cuts and pick out our fabrics. And then we're going to kind of move along the way for this particular quilt. Now, that's what we're going to be covering today. But before we do all of that, I do have some crafting news that I want to share with you. So let's go over to the crafting news. Just a couple of stories that I do want to share. And first off, we're going to go over to Columbus, Indiana, where we have a group that is really getting ready for a 20th a gathering of quilts show. And it's happening between October the 17th and 18th. And it's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Fountain for Youth, where there's going to be 120 quilts that are made by local guild members, and they're going to be proudly displaying them for all to see, which is really nice. Now, it's going to be hosted by two amazing groups. It's the Columbus Star Quilters and the Evening Star Quilters. And they've been stitching together since the early 1980s. So that's pretty cool. Visitors can join the workshops, watch mini demos. They're going to browse the vendor mall and shop at the Quilters Boutique. That's going to be filled with all kinds of treasures. Now, this year, they're going to honor the late Jeanette McKim, who is one of the Guild's founding members who lived to be 101 years old, which is really amazing. She's got a special display of her quilts, and they're going to celebrate her lifelong passion for the craft. So both of those guilds hope that you are getting inspired and pick up a needle and thread and kind of help them out and join the little community, attend the event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, then we are going to go over to our next story, and that's in Miami. Yeah, the Miami International Airport. If you are ever in that airport and you are near gate D31, there's something truly amazing waiting for you there. Unfortunately, I didn't see it, but there's a local artist by the name of Regina Durrett Jestro. And she turned everyday fabrics into even ones that are gathered right from the airport into a stunning quilt. And she's got an expedition called Curious Geometrics. And her colorful creations blend recycled fabrics, playful shapes, and bold Miami colors. And that shows how quilting can turn ordinary materials into something really extraordinary. Now, each piece tells a story of a connection to the city, to the people, and to the beauty of just handmade art. That exhibit's going to be on display until March the 9th of 2026. So if you are in the airport catching your next flight, you may want to check that out and soak in that new creation out there. That's a wonderful way to kind of inspire people, right? Awesome. I love that story. Okay, so I think we are ready to get started, right? Alrighty, so like I said, we're going to be doing the Moda Love Charm Quilt, and this is the kind of kit that I picked up at the expo that I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So can you believe it's already been a week since I've been there? Kind of time flies. So I have my backing fabric, which is kind of a nice little beige that I'm going to be using. And then the binding is a very nice green. So I think those are really good. That's what we're going to be using there. And then I have a charm pack. This is a Moda Fabrics, and this is Emmett and Ivory. And it's by Sweetwater. So this is the charm pack that I'm going to be using. And it's just a really pretty pattern. I really love the Christmas colors that they have here. I think are pretty amazing. It's going to be lots of fun. I really love this print though. It also, you know, it has this nice print with some sayings on here. I'm just worried that that's going to be a little bit of a distraction when you're doing a half square triangle on that, but we'll see how it works out. So, okay, so when you're looking at the pattern itself, is telling you to go ahead and select 18 squares to make your half square triangles with, and then go ahead and set those to the side. Okay, so let's see here. So this again, oh, I purchased the quilt kit that I got. I got it from a vendor that was at the expo, and it's called, he's got a little website. It's called 4KM, Fort Mountain Quilting is what it is, but it's FORKMTN quilting.com. And there's this little card. Very nice people. Had a little conversation with them. Very, very nice. Enjoyed talking with them, and I did go ahead and get the kit. So I have all the fabric for this particular pattern, and they have one that was really beautifully displayed of Christmas, so it looked really, really nice, very inspirational. So definitely, let's see, are we having an issue with one of the cameras? Yeah, I think we are. We're having an issue with one of the cameras, but no worries. We'll just keep going. I think he's going to be okay in just a minute. So I went ahead and I picked out 18 of the squares, and a lot of the ones that I picked, since I know that they're going to be half square triangles, I tried to stay away from the ones that had the letter. I think I just put one of them in there that has like some words and things, but I wanted to stay away from it because I know that when I make that half square triangle, it's gonna kind of chop it in half. And I'm just not sure about what how it's gonna look like. So I think I only put in a couple here and there. I tried to kind of stay away from it. But other than that, when I was putting the, picking them out, I tried to kind of make sure I had a nice blend of different colors. So greens, reds, blues, and then for like the darks, I have a black, and just try to make sure that you have a nice blend completely there. Oh, we're working again. Yay. Okay. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that these are the ones that I'm kind of worried about on here because of all the wording and it getting cut off. It may still look good. I'm just not sure because of all this lettering stuff, but that's basically, I tried to stick with things that were really nice colors with little designs on them. And I think these will work really well. So nice little blend. Just make sure you have some lights, some darks, just some nice contrast, because you are going to be making half square triangles with this. So just kind of go through your stash, see what you're pulling out. I think these were the only two. Let me just see if there were any others in this pack here. Yeah. See, we've got some blues, we've got some reds, we've got some greens. These are the only two, and I may end up substituting them back out because they're going to be half square triangles. So pick those out, put those over to the side. We'll get back to these. And then it tells you to go ahead and pull out 12 squares. And these are going to be used on the quilt top. So if you kind of look at the pattern itself, let me move these out of the way so I can bring these over. So if you look at the pattern itself, you'll see that it does say to pull out the 12, and that's going to be used in the quilt. And so you have to kind of look at the picture diagram to kind of understand like where exactly is that going to be placed. And if you noticed on the design itself, if you've got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 3 here and 3 here, those are the 3, and they're the dark colored ones here. those are the 3, 6, 9, 12 that you're going to need to put into your quilt. So if you're really looking to place your fabric in a specific position, like if I'm going to be using things like these prints with words and things on them, I may want to use these type of charm squares into these squares, because within these spots you can actually read and see what's going on, where if I use it as for a half square triangle, it's going to be chopped and they're really not going to be able to read. I mean, it's still going to look cute, but I want them to be able to see that print. That's really something that I want to kind of highlight. So I'm going to try to use these type of fabrics on my as part of the 12 that's going to be showing. These are going to be full charm pack sizes. They're not going to be half square triangles or cutting in any way. They are going to be reduced though. So right now we've got the 5-inch square here, and if you look at the directions, it does tell you of the 12 inches, you're going to trim them down and square them off to 4.5 by 4.5. So all you're doing is just shrinking and reducing the size a little bit here, but it's still going to be the entire square. And I really love the little snowman there. So it's almost like you're fussy cutting. So if you have any particular fabric that you're using and you want to fussy cut them here, these are the perfect opportunities to do that. You've got 12 choices. So if you want to do 1, 2, 3, and 4, very specific type of designs that you want there, this quilt pattern actually gives you the perfect opportunity to do that. So go ahead and pick out some fabrics, and if you have some line or something that or a specific fabric in your stash that you want to use that would really go well with your charm pack, try to see if you can fussy cut something in there, because that would really work nicely. Okay, so now that we've got our 18 off to the side and we've now picked out 12, these are the 12 that I'll be using for this, I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler. Now I'm using the June Taylor Get Squared ruler, and I'll show you what that looks like here. And I really like this ruler a lot because it really allows you to fussy cut. Let me get the instructions out of the way so you can see it a little better. So the way this ruler works, it's got a 4.5-inch inner square here, and it's got some little slots on here for you to be able to make this cut. So very similar to a stripology ruler. For those of you that are familiar with those, they've got the little slots that allow you to put your rotary cutter in and then go ahead and make the cut. So they have that on both ends. They've got one on this end and then one on this side. So every corner has the 2 slots, and that really helps you to put that blade in. And I'll just kind of show you, when you have this here, you're putting your blade here, and then make sure you have this nice and situated, and then you're going to go ahead and make the cut, and it'll give you that nice smooth cut. And this inner circle again is going to be 4.5 inches square. Now if you're working on a larger project, you also have the outer square that's available as well, and that one is 8.5 inches, which is really nice. You've got that inner square, it tells you here on the bottom 4.5 inches as the inner square, and then 8.5 inches for the outer square. So if you're making that bigger block, you can use the outside of that. Will not have the slots obviously because it's on the outside, but you can definitely make the 8.5 inch here and then the 4.5 inch here. I bought this ruler specifically for a different pattern. I can't recall which one it was, but it needed that 4.5 inch square, and it was perfect for that job. There's not that many quilts that I have been able to find with a 4.5 inch required cut. So I don't get to use it too often, but when I find a quilt pattern that calls for that size, I immediately love to use this because it really helps you kind of fussy cut things from your stash. So I'm going to kind of use this kind of as an example. We're going to put this down here. This is a 5-inch square. And then if I put the ruler on top, obviously if I had a larger yardage on here and I wasn't using a charm pack, I'd have more wiggle room. But in this case here, you see it's 4.5 inches, and I can see that my little candy canes are going to get cut off right here on the side. So I could kind of move this over and do the cut a little bit over this way. And you see how I only will cut just a slither on this side and a lot more fabric on this one, but it'll allow me to have the complete picture of the candy cane, and the word Christmas won't get cut off. So you can kind of play with this and then move the ruler up and down and see exactly where you want it. Or maybe I just want the snowman to be centered and I really don't care about the rest. Then maybe, you know, I could do something like this. You know, but it's nice that this opening here really allows you to see exactly what it's going to look like before you actually cut your fabric. So I really love this thing here because I can really play around with it and see exactly what it is I want on either side to do that. Now I'm working with just the 5-inch square, so I don't have too much wiggle room because I'm just cutting it down to 4.5, so I'm only losing 1/2 inch. But if you have some larger yardage, you know, and you've got a really cute little pattern that you want to include in the charm pack, in this pattern, then you can definitely have some more wiggle room to play around with it and just kind of fussy cut that here. So that's what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be cutting these down to 4.5 inches. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that's going to be the first step that you're going to do here according to this pattern. Now it does tell you that the background fabric that you're going to be using, in this case I'll be using this beige background here, you're going to cut those 5 strips of 5-inch by the width of the fabric. So you're going to be cutting that, and then for your binding you're going to be cutting them 2.25 inch by the width of the fabric, and you'll be cutting 4 of those. So go ahead and make those cuts so you have them all off to the side. And then as you kind of look into the pattern instructions, it starts going into half square triangles. What is the finished size, Cindy? It finishes at 32 inch by 32 inch. So it's a nice little wall hanging. I mean, the size of my mat goes up to 36 inches across. So 32 is about from here to here. So nice size, not too bad, you know, and then 32 up. So it's going to be a nice little wall hanging. It's not too big of a quilt. So this is kind of a quick little project. You should be able to finish this in no time. So I'm excited about that. And I'm trying to focus on smaller projects because I have an overwhelming whole stack of design boards with projects that I need to finish. So I was kind of working on that over the weekend a little bit. Any little time I could grab, you know, when I was not working, I tried to run in here and try to finish something. It just gives me that sense of accomplishment when I do that. So I was working a little bit on our woven stars. And let me see if I have any here on the side, because I do have them off to the side that I was working on. Here's my pile. I was able to get a couple more done, just 2 of them actually over the weekend. I got 2 full stars completely done. So that was from that paper piecing project that I still haven't finished. So I went ahead and did the woven star. This is just a paper piecing project that I've been working on. I did there's 2 different designs. The log cabin ones, I'm sorry, it's called the courthouse steps. That one's completely done. I just had the woven star, which takes a little bit longer. So putting those together still, and yes, then eventually I can get all of these put together and done, because this project's been looming for a while. And it kind of bothers me that I haven't gotten that done. So that's the only thing that I was able to work on this weekend. So I'm excited to get this one going. So let's get started on this. Okay, so we've got our ruler here. I'm going to be using my Quilter Select rotary cutter. It's got a pretty new blade in here, not too new yet, but I think it's still good. And these are the 12 squares that I selected. So I'm going to start off with this first one that we were just looking at that has that little newsprint type of thing. And we're going to just kind of put this underneath, and I'm going to try to get the word Christmas shop and the snowman to be kind of centered here. And I'm going to try to align this all together, and then I can kind of show you how this ruler works. And let me try to line this up here. Okay, then I think I will be happy with just about, let's see, maybe we'll angle this a little bit here. Yeah, that looks about right. I think we're going to go with this. We'll make that cut right there. And so that will just about get the word Christmas. The candy, the word candy is, the C is just really on the edge there. So it may get cut off a little bit there. So it'll say, instead of candy shop, it'll say Andy shop. That's okay. And from the top to the bottom, I think we're good here. It might angle a little bit, maybe like this. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this down. Now I am left-handed, so I'm going to be cutting with rotary cutter with my left hand, and my right hand's just going to hold this down, pressure downward, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my rotary cutter and put it into the slot that is here. So just kind of jiggle that in a little bit, make sure you're in the slot, and then go ahead and do the cut. And when you do that cut, you're coming all the way to the other side of that slot. You're making sure your rotary cutter's synced into the slot on the top end here. And then if you have a rotating mat, this was probably the better time to use that. I didn't grab it, so that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and just hold this down here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of do the top one and cut that one. And then I'm trying not to move this. Do the second cut on the other vertical side. Oops, a little bit off there. There we go. And then the bottom into the slot and all the way across. Okay, now I'm not going to move the ruler. I'm just going to gently kind of pick it up, and you can see I was able to pick it up here. When I lift this up, you're going to see what you've cut off here. And so you can see I was mostly on this side because I wanted to get the word Christmas, and you'll see all the big pieces that were kind of left out. So that is your scrap. So not too much waste so far, right? So I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to be my first cut there. And I think that's going to look great. The snowman is kind of in the center there. I have the word Christmas here. Now you'll have to remember that whatever you leave right on the edges, you're going to have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So yeah, I got a little bit of the candy canes in, but some of it's going to be eaten up by seam allowances here. So I'm not too worried about it, because you can still kind of make out this candy cane going this way. So not too shabby here. So now I'm going to just continue to do that with all of the other ones. Can we use our Quilt to cut the pieces? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can also use your scan and cut. If you have your scan and cut, you can just put these down. It's 4.5 inches. So I would just make sure, and I would test with your scan and cut, you know, if you're setting it to 4.5 inches, you know, do a test cut first run it through the machine, make sure that it is accurate at 4.5 inches. And if it's not, you may want to give it just a smudge more, and then you may just have to trim it a little bit afterwards. But just double check, do your test, and cut your square out. But really simple. Now if you don't have this June Taylor squared ruler, that's okay. You could just use a regular ruler and just cut it out at 4.5 inches. So I'm just using it because it's a fun ruler and I have it, and why not use it, right? So I want to go ahead and do that. Now for this particular one, I don't have anything really in particular that I need to cut out. Like there's no wording on here other than the let it snow, and that's kind of sprinkled all over. So it really is not gonna matter where I position this. I'm pretty happy unless I have a specific snowman that I wanna show off. But I think this one is kind of one of those all over the place type of design. So it's not gonna matter where I cut it. So I'm fine with this one. So I'm going to just go ahead and use that. And let me just lay this flat here. There we go. Again, holding it down, wiggle into the little slot here, and then go ahead and do the cut. Whoop, I went completely off on that one. And I may have slipped. Yes, I did. I slipped that one. See how it slipped on me? Let me show you on this side. This was an oopsie. So I went off a little bit on there and I cut into it. So that's not cool. And that was my first cut. So let me see if I can still save this one by moving my ruler over and still getting that 4.5 inch cut. Let's see if I can do that. And yes, I can. So I've got another shot at this. So let's see if I pay attention this time. All right. Now I got this a little bit closer to me just because I had it a little far away. So let's see. Wiggling it in here, making sure I am staying straight against that line there. And I think we're good. Yeah, we're good around this way. Did I move again? I moved a little bit. Okay, today's not my day, but that's all right. I think we got it. Worst case, you can always grab another chime square. Let's go across the top. I'm going to go across the bottom, and I will go here on the ends. Now, ideally, I like to do this standing up. It's a little awkward for me, but it's okay. And we've got our square, and not too bad. A little bit of piece that needs to come off. There we go. So not too bad. Even with the mistake, we still ended up with a nice square. Yes, nice save. Woohoo! I got that, right? Yeah, we did a good job on that one. Okay. And again, not that much waste. So very good. I've got this little baggie here. I decided to put it on the side rather than me turning over every single time. And I kind of just slide. Because I was doing that paper piecing project, and it has, all those papers that you have to take out at the end. And it makes just such a mess. So it was kind of like, woo, really good to put something over here. A rotating mat would have been helpful. Yes, and I don't know why I didn't take that out, but I forgot. I was just so focused on the paper piecing, I completely forgot to take out my rotating mat. Sitting down to cut is hard. It is. It's really hard because I don't have... When you're cutting and you're standing, you think about gravity moving down, you have more force as you're cutting this way. And it's kind of hard to really extend, especially if you're doing long cuts. It's kind of hard to extend because you lose that momentum on this side. So your body is shifted down this way. You're okay here, but once you start getting out this way, you totally lose that momentum and you really will have to press down to go out. and you can't really see. It's better when you're standing up, you can kind of see what you're cutting. So, but if you do that, it will chop off my head and you won't see me. And so here we are. But that's all right. I kind of got used to it when I'm on camera to try to do it sitting down. But when I am off camera, I do like to stand up, and really, I think I get a better cut when I do that. But that's okay. We will be fine. Okay, so I have another one of these newsprints, guys. And this one looks like this. It's got a lot of wording around. Some of it's already cut up from the 5-inch square. So I'm going to just try to focus on that middle section here and try to get that as centered as I can. So again, I'm going to use this ruler, and let's try to get this nice and centered. And I think that'll work. You also want to make sure that it's not tilted, like you have it nice and straight too. Unless you want to tilt it, you could do that too. Let me move this a little bit more. Yeah, I think I want to head it more this way to try to center this right here a little bit if I could. And maybe moving it over this way. So not too much to cut on this end. It's really just a tiny slither. And we've got a chunk here that we're cutting on this side. And that will allow this to kind of be more centered. So it's just so that there'll be something for them to see and read, and not just a bunch of words that are just chopped up all over the place. So you definitely want to kind of, kind of take a look. If you have these words, it can be a little bit tricky. Just making sure that you have it kind of positioned the way you want it. And I think we're going to go with maybe a little bit higher up, because you have to account for that seam allowance as well. So I'm going to give it a little bit more height over here, and just kind of go off of this little line that they have there. And I may have to move, whoops, so yeah, off a little bit, maybe move it a little bit that way. Okay, I think that's as good as we're gonna get there. So again, let me try to do this, holding this down, bringing this over. Oh, I think we did it again. Well, let's see. Did I? Yes, I did. Oh, darn it. I'm going to have to off-center it just a tad, because we did it again. It's because I'm sitting down, folks. Try it one more time. There we go. That's better. And now we're going to go to the other side. And then we'll go ahead and do them horizontally. There we go. Much better. Okay, not too bad. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. Not too bad at all. I wanted this to be a little bit more centered, but that's okay. It works. We are going to eat up some seam allowance here and here, so it should work out nicely there. Okay, and again, hardly any waste, so looks great. Okay, so that's what I'm going to continue to kind of do throughout the rest of this charm pack. So gather up your charm pack and do the same thing. Go ahead and trim it. Fussy cut if you have anything that you'd like to fussy cut. And then we're going to be ready to do the half square triangles. We've got the, I believe it was 18 that we set to the side that we're going to get to. And I know we're kind of running low on time. So let's just take a look. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of things that we did to the machine, and then tomorrow we'll do some half square triangles together. But couple of things that we were able to do. Let's see if I can bring this over. Yep, still working. So little things that we did to the machine, and I'll turn it so you can see. We've got our little Molly sew cam here attached to our machine, and we went ahead and ran the camera going across, and we put some sliders, and I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe you can see, was it one on this side you can see? Yeah, you can see this one here underneath the machine. Since this machine is so heavy and I don't have a stationary place that I can put it just yet, what I went ahead and did, we got some, sliders that you use like for movers, like when you're moving furniture, these little blocks, and I put them underneath the machine so that since I have this on my mat, since it's plastic, it allows me to kind of move this a little bit easier. So I can move it around now without really having to really struggle because it weighs so much. So I'm able to do that, and then I've got our sew cam all set up here. So it looks great. Yay. Yay. I was so excited. Yes. And so of course we've got Miss Molly, and of course she has been christened and named with her name on the back. And we've got Miss Molly over here on the side to keep remembering, so that we remember, what we're doing and how we love our craft. So everything's all set up to go. Tomorrow we'll be doing the half square triangles with our machine here. And go ahead and fussy cut. You've got some homework to do now, so go ahead and fussy cut your fabric or gather your charm pack that you're going to be using for this project. Download the instructions, and then tomorrow we will pick it up and do our half square triangles. Alrighty, awesome. So let's go ahead and oh, one more thing that we did get, and I don't know, some of you may already have this in your stash, but in the Missouri Star Christmas box, I do not remember if it was last year or the year before, they gave us quilting and crafting spray, or some people know it as a flatter spray. So flatter sprays will just help you to keep your fabric really flat. I was able to get my clapper, finally found it. Was sitting underneath a stash of stuff and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I got my clapper back, and using this for your half square triangles is really going to help you to kind of keep those seams nice and flat. So when you are ready to do your half square triangles tomorrow, make sure you grab your clapper, and if you have any flattener spray, go ahead and grab that. Or if you have the Missouri Star box, it's called the Quilting and Crafting Spray. And it's really nice because this little spray will really help to flatten those seams also. So go ahead and take those out. So that's what I'm going to be using, guys. Again, we've got our charm pack and everything ready to go. Download that free pattern because we're going to be kicking this off and doing these together. I'm going to go ahead and finish my 4.5-inch cuts here, standing up, so that I can get nice clean cuts. So I'll have that ready tomorrow, and then tomorrow we can start the half square triangles with our new Miss Molly machine. Alrighty guys, it's towards the end of our hour, so let's go over to our inspirational quote of the day. Alrighty, so for today's quote of the day is, "Each quilt block assembled is a promise kept to keep going and create beauty." And that's what we're gonna do here. Just create something really beautiful with each new project that we tackle. And so go ahead and grab those favorite fabrics, cut them down to the fabric requirements listed on the pattern, and I'll meet you back here tomorrow and we'll continue to work through this pattern. Thank you guys all for tuning in today. I really hope you have a fantastic day, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Sorry about those technical issues that we had earlier, but I think we're just had a little gremlin that, got in. I think we got it kicked out. We should be good to go now. Mr. H got him out, right? All right, so thank you all again. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.